Alrighty, good morning. I'm going to call the meeting to order. We're going to start with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Brent, you have the prayer?
Sure. Please pray with me. Dear Lord, thank you for allowing us to be here today. Please give us the guidance to make the best decisions we can for the people of Seneca County. Amen.
Okay, roll call.
All right, Commissioner Paradiso is absent. Commissioner Frankert,
Here.
Commissioner Busdecker.
Here.
Okay. I will accept a motion to approve the digital audio video recordings of the previous board session from Thursday, May 22nd, 2025.
Make the motion.
I'll second.
Commissioner Busdecker.
Yes.
Commissioner Frankert.
Yes. Okay, so we have a bid opening at 10 o'clock for the county chip seal project. So Barb's going to pass around a form for everybody to sign in that we have to do. And we'll go ahead and turn it over to Barb.
Okay. Let's see, I have the 2025 chip seal project. Engineer's estimate is $891,640. It looks like I have 5 bids. This is from Henry W. Bergman Incorporated. Their bid is $918,215.58. Next bid is from, looks like Ward Construction. Their bid is $869,242.98. This is for Melway Paving Company. Their bid is $939,548.52.
Did you guys think?
This is from Unalliance. Their bid is $951,860.11. Last bid I have is from Runway Incorporated. Their bid is $892,401.18. Pass these off to Mark, and he'll take care of his decision and go from there.
Very good. Thank you, everybody who bid. You're welcome to stay, or you can move on if you like, so.
Thanks.
Wow, it goes half the crowd.
Yeah, they're all here for me. Have a great one.
See you, Mark.
Appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Yep.
892, the last bid was. I can give you the full number, 892,401.18.
No, Zimmerman's estimate?
Yes, 891.6.
Cool, thank you.
Sorry.
Okay, so that concludes the bid opening. Next, we have GLCAP here to kind of give us an update. Mary, are you kind of with Jim?
Yep,
I am.
she's hanging out with me.
I'm just gonna hang right here.
So, so what I'm here to talk about today, first of all, I'm Jim Oliver. I'm the Mobility Management Coordinator with GLCAP. This is a copy for you. Every 4 years, we have to submit a new, and I have to look at the cheat sheet, Coordinated Public and Human Services Transportation Plan to the Ohio Department of Transportation. What this plan is I'll just kind of start at the beginning. Every 4 years, beginning of this year, we started doing focus group surveys, meeting with agency heads, just to talk about transportation in Seneca County, what are the gaps, what are the needs, we then identified some goals based on the outcomes of all those, the feedback that we got. We then submitted that, we then turned that into what you see in front of you. I'm not going to read through each goal. You can read through that as you want. The plan itself is about 50 pages. We did send that to Barb, so you're welcome to read through the whole thing if you want. Most of it's data and statistics. How many households have number of vehicles. I mean, those kinds of things throughout the county. The important part of this plan is funding is tied to this for different transportation agencies throughout the county. So we focus not only on transit, which I'm going to let them talk if they want, but and NCAT does a great job. We cover 9 counties with this program, and NCAT is one of the few in those 9 counties that really is a robust transit. They cover the whole county. They go above and beyond. It doesn't mean they're the be-all, end-all. There's still, gaps in services, evenings, weekends, those kinds of things, especially for seniors, people with disabilities, those folks. So what we try to do is identify options and services to cover those gaps. So this plan allows for not only NCAT, but entities like Flat Rock Care Center, the Commission on Aging, the Board of DD. They can go after funding to help pay for vehicles, services, those kinds of things through this plan. And so that's the important part of this. It allows some of these entities to go after funding through ODOT for this plan. So with that being said, it's what we're asking for today is just a resolution of support from the commissioners for this plan, so we can submit it to ODOT by the end of June. It would then take effect July 1st and run through the fiscal year, and then fiscal year 30, because fiscal year 26 is actually starting. this year, so.
What kind of funding have we received or we've received from
So-
previously, just a kind of a gauge?
Well, so every year, so we're waiting for announcements. God love ODOT, but they always kind of push back the deadlines, and Mary can attest to that a lot here. We're still waiting for announcements from last year. I'm not sure who all from Seneca County applied for vehicles, but I know in the 9-county area, there's at least 15 or 16 entities. And how ODOT funds, it's an 80-20 match for the vehicles. So if you get one of the big buses, you know, those things can run, what,
178?
yeah, yeah, so, you know, if you're an entity like Flat Rock and you get one of the big buses, then, you know, you're just looking for that local match. So I'm not sure, I'd have to look at how much we've gotten through 5310. 5310 is the Federal Transit Administration's designation number for this funding, to see how much locally Seneca's got. But I know over the years, they've gotten quite a bit, so, yeah.
The thing I'd like to add is we're 5311. Public transit is 5311. 5310 is for seniors and those with disabilities. In the state of Ohio, I believe there's only like maybe 4, 6 that get operating funds for 5310. 5310 is more for capital improvement vehicles. And in Seneca County, you have a lot of people, including nursing homes that are nonprofits, like St. Francis. They apply for 5311. I think Quanah Manors is jumping on board. You know, we're encouraging anybody that's a nonprofit that provides transportation. If you're not in a plan, you're not going to get funded. If you come to the meetings and you're signed in, you have qualified your agency for funding. You don't show, you don't get the money, because there's only so much of the pie the state can give away. And if you can't take time out 4 times a year to come to one of Jim's meetings, then you're really not vested. And you're not interested in this. So the 5311, we definitely want to be in this plan. It's not as officially that we have to participate, but we participate, we host, because it's that important. Because eventually we are probably going to have to qualify for that, because, you know, the state funding is going down and the cost of everything is going up. And Jim does an incredible job. He's the only mobility manager in Ohio that has 9 counties. Most of them have 1, maybe 2. He has 9.
Well, and like Mary said, the crux of this is to help agencies that support seniors, people with disabilities, low-income folks, but it really can, anybody that's serving the community can apply for this. So any nonprofit or governmental agency is eligible for funding through this.
And we encourage them to be part of this,
Yeah.
because we want Seneca County to get a
Yeah.
bigger piece of the pie.
Yeah.
And we will write letters of support to support them to get that funding. And if you can get a vehicle and only have to pay 80 or 20% versus 80 or 100%, you can get 80% of it covered by the federal money, why would you not apply? The reason they don't is because they don't know about it. So we got to get the word out there. We need to get the word out there that they have to be part of this mobility plan, because that's the first thing ODOT's going to look at. Were you at the meetings? Are you part of the plan? And if the answer is no, then you're not vested.
Was that, because didn't Commissioner on Aging got a new van, was that through this program or was that another program?
I'm sure it's probably through this.
Yeah, it was
program.
That was
Yeah.
a year ago.
Yes.
I think that was another grant.
Was that a
They
different-
they had a healthy aging.
Oh,
grant.
yes, there was healthy
That's how they got
aging, yeah.
that. That's how they got it. But I know that they've gotten vehicles
Yeah.
through this
Yeah.
plan before.
Yeah.
Then that was
And-
opened up to 5310s only. We couldn't apply for it, otherwise I would have.
Yeah.
Yep, okay.
And right now, and it's gotten better, but you know, you get awarded for this funding, you get the award, then it takes a little while to get a contract, and Mary can attest to that. She just
I
got
don't
it.
have 2025's, 26 contract, and it starts July 1st.
And everybody's panicking a little bit about that.
They haven't given us, I don't know what our budget is like next year, and it's July 1st.
Yeah. And then,
I'm going on vacation, so.
yeah, so then once you get the contract, then you've got to order the vehicle, and for years, there's been delays.
COVID
It's-
really-
Yeah, I mean, it's
yeah.
gotten better, but I mean, it was 2 years once you ordered a vehicle by the time you actually got the vehicle. So, so it's a process, but, I mean, it's worthwhile, and, you know, I always look at it, equate, and you probably notice it too, you drive anywhere through Seneca County, especially Tiffin, you'll see all these big buses, who's using them, what are they being used for, and what we're trying to do is get everybody to work together to share some of these resources, share the vehicles, work together, and that's the point of the plan, so. Any other questions?
No, I was, actually, I just did a radio spot from Flat Rock, and they
Oh, good.
commend on how
Good.
good
Yeah.
of a partnership you guys have, working with them on.
Yes, yeah, we work with them on a lot of stuff.
159 years they've been
Yes.
out there, and
Yeah.
yeah, how it's changed,
Yep.
and yeah, they're,
Yeah.
yeah, sound like it's,
Well, and, I mean, you guys know my wife, she actually started her career at Flat Rock back in the early 80s, so, yeah.
Yep.
So, yep,
That's before your time.
yeah, yeah. Kelsey, do you guys know Kelsey?
Oh,
You
yeah,
wanna
this is
introduce
Kelsey
yourself?
Slater. She is Assistant Director. She will be my replacement when I'm
If
done.
Mary ever retires.
20 years from now.
She has been with NCAT, for, it'll be 15 years in December.
Yep.
So she knows the business inside and out. She knows more about the Seneca County needs than I do, because she hears it, she answers the phone, she does all that. She's been promoted up to assistant, from lead dispatcher, up to administrative assistant. And last year, my board of directors said, I can't be 3 counties at once. So we created this position with the blessing of ODOT. And so Kelsey obviously was the shoe that fit the foot that fit the shoe.
Yep.
So, and she's doing an amazing job.
Yep, she's wonderful,
And
so.
she doesn't like to get out in the public much, but she is,
She'll
you're
learn.
going to be seeing more.
There you go, good, good.
All right, well, I appreciate it. Like I said, we just need the resolution by the end of, before
Yep.
the end of
I
June.
think it's on the agenda for today,
Today.
Okay.
so,
All right, yep, and then,
perfect. We'll get it over to you and when it's
yeah,
approved.
just let me know. I live close by.
We
Just swing by and
can
get it.
send it by email or whatever.
Yeah, whatever you want to do.
So,
All right, sounds good.
Perfect.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, guys.
Take care, we'll see you.
Thank you.
Hang in there, Barb.
Thank you.
I wouldn't want your job.
Okay, next on the agenda, we have Ohio Land and Liberty Coalition, Ryan Santa Maria?
Maria.
Maria,
yeah.
okay, Santa Maria, okay,
we'll
very
sit up
good,
here.
very good.
So yeah, again, I'm Ryan Santa Maria with the Ohio Land and Liberty Coalition, joined with Tony Zartman here. So we're a nonprofit organization. We go across the state of Ohio trying to build conservative support for renewable energy. And one of the things we are taking on this year is we're trying to visit with every county commissioner's office just to learn how different counties have handled renewable energy and kind of what's going on in each of those places. Just through our travels, I think this is close to, if not number 40, that we've stopped in just from the beginning of the year. We're just trying to understand more of how each individual place has handled it. It's very different from, southeast Ohio and then going all the way up here to northwest. So we just have like 8 standard questions that we have asked every county commissioner's office. They're really simple, no like gotcha questions or anything, just so we understand what's kind of been going on in Seneca County. And I can just get into those if that works for you guys. So just first with the really basic, what is your guys' understanding of renewable energy, either solar, wind, or battery?
So I'm gonna follow up with a question to you. So have you researched kind of what Seneca County, where we are at with wind and solar and stuff on that?
I've heard a little bit, but I mean, if you want to fill me in more, this is part
Sure,
of,
So-
coming out here.
We, as a county, so have you heard of Senate Bill 52?
Oh, yeah, I'm well aware of
Well,
that,
what of
yeah.
that? So our constituents from the township, so I came from a trustee into the seat here, and so our constituents, basically on wind and solar, we have passed a resolution to support Senate Bill 52 for the large-scale utility.
Right.
Stuff on it. So that's what, again, that was the voice. Previous commissioners, there's some was for it, and those who really drilled the bus for it, they're not in the, they moved on and not in the seats anymore and stuff on that, just because of the resilience that we had from our constituents driving, where we wanted to be in the county and stuff with it. So that's where we're at. So that's kind of, if you want to continue on the questions, but I think, basically we've,
Right, I mean,
this has already been heard. Yeah.
Right, yeah, and we were down in Crawford County a little bit earlier, met with those commissioners as well. Again, like, that's one of the things, going out to these places that have enacted those bans, just kind of understanding where that all came from. I'm not here to promote anything if that's already through. Just gathering information, learning how certain places have got to where they have been.
Sure, sure. And that came from busloads of people down going to Columbus,
Right.
yellow shirts, just, yeah, not wanting to change, you know, the escape and everything of it. So that's kind
Right.
of where we're at with it. So, you know, that was kind of, per se, the will of the people here, and that's what we're in the seats to support our constituents in the direction that they, you know, want to be in with it. So, yes.
Right, that's completely understandable. I'm not here to change
Yeah,
anyone's
no.
mind or anything, you know. I just have a few questions that just, you know, about what's happened here. You know, I've only been doing this job for about a year now, so haven't been to a lot of these different counties, but I guess one of them was, did you guys have any of those large-scale projects come in before those bans that kind of set this all in motion, or was it preventative in a way?
Yeah, so there were some leases that was signed, and they was, you know, starting to, but basically what happened was that it could have, you know, proceeded with it because this was enacted after the Republic Wind project and stuff with it, and then they just, you know, pulled away then because that's when there started to be more resistance in Crawford County. That was part of their scope of it there. So this was, yeah, like say, put in, there's no large-scale, you know, wind or solar projects in Seneca County currently.
Okay. And you know, I'm not sure if you guys have any. This was a lot more prevalent down in southeast Ohio with some of the coal fields, but something we've heard kind of being tossed around is putting solar farms on like brownfields. And I was wondering if that's something that you guys have up here. I know it's not as common, but
So we have quite a few brownfields. Usually in the wintertime, you see a lot of brownfields, and then they're planted in the spring, and then they turn into green fields. That's per se of our brownfields here. We don't have
Right.
large acreage of brownfields or anything like that other than
Right.
the wintertime.
Yeah, that's-
You get in southeastern Ohio, all the AEP coal land down
Yeah.
through there, there's a lot of land. And, you know, the reuse of that is, you know, what they're choosing to do in their county.
right. And you know, we went down, I forget which county it was, but they had this large brownfield that was an old coal field, and you know, they put in a project there, and you know, for anything on farmland, the constituents didn't want it, but they were all in favor of this because, you know, they still got the benefits of it and the land wasn't being used for anything else. So it's just something I'd heard being tossed around. Again, I know it's not as common up here to get fields like that. I guess just one last question then is something that I've kind of noticed as I've been going across the state, especially up in this area of the state, is some of these smaller projects that are under 50 megawatts where, you know, it's not going through the state and doesn't really apply to the Senate Bill 52. Have you guys experienced any of those smaller scale projects either being proposed or built out here in this county?
We've not had anything officially. We get, you know, some calls on it, and at that point, that kind of falls back to the townships then,
Right.
and the townships zoned. I think they've been adjusting their zoning, you know, on that, and that's, again, that's the township level with that, so, and that's what I'm gathering, you know, just hearing is what they're, you know, 50 megawatt on up is what, you know, Senate
Yeah,
Bill
yeah,
52. So I know as a business model now, they're 48 and put 48 and 48 and 48, so, again, that, you know, I know how, you know, the potential for that could be, but it's gonna be up to the townships and stuff, how they wanna handle that, you know, we'll work collaboratively with them.
Right.
So.
And have you heard of any of like the zone or any townships putting in that zoning for that small scale stuff already, or is it still, you know, something that's a work in
Some that's kind of
progress?
working on there, yeah,
Right.
so as far as their zoning, I mean, that's up to their zoning boards and
Mhm.
stuff, what they've been doing on that, so, yeah, it's, you know, I know there's been some adjustments throughout, you know, kind of following with, what OTA, Ohio Township Association and stuff with it, so, but yeah, I think there's been some townships that have enhanced their zoning
Right.
stuff on it, so.
Well, perfect. And, you know, I do have one more, and it always causes the most arguments wherever I go. And it is, what's the best place to get some lunch here in Seneca County?
Across the street.
Yeah,
Across the street.
across the street, there's a lot of good places here, so yeah, depends on who, yeah, so no.
Depends on what you're looking for.
GW's, yeah, you can, within walking distance, you get quite a few different good spots.
Yeah, if you don't feel
Yep.
like walking, there's a great place across the street.
Yep, exactly.
Perfect.
Yep,
If you want to walk a little further, there's
yep,
6 more.
yeah, exactly, yep. Yeah, so-
Well, perfect, gentlemen. That's,
Thank you for your
yeah,
time.
thank you
Yeah,
for
appreciate
meeting
you
with me,
coming.
taking some time out of your day. I got a card just in case anything ever comes up, you know.
Here's our
I never
resolution.
sleep,
You want a copy?
so-
Got with you? Got a resolution. SB 52, yep, thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It was great
Yep,
meeting you,
appreciate it.
gentlemen.
Yep,
Thank
take
you.
care, we'll see you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Next, we have commissioner reports.
I'll go ahead.
Go ahead.
Last Friday, worked further on JFS interviews a little bit more. It was a short week this week, so I'll just kind of throw in there. I mean, there was graduation events. Both of us have daughters that graduated this year, so had a lot of functions going on over the weekend. We got into Monday, the Memorial Day parade. My first parade. It was actually a pretty enjoyable experience. Got to walk through. I don't want to take your thunder away. I got to hang out
You're
with
good, yeah.
Bill and the girls and Tony. It was actually a lot of fun. We were discussing that before the meeting. So, and Tuesday at Land Bank, Wednesday, yesterday. Geez, that's how quickly the week goes by. Went to Regional Growth Partners over in Ottawa. They had an event at the Ottawa Brewing Company. There's much like downtown Tiffin having downtown development, they have an entity over there in development. There was a number of the people, including Adam Greenslade that was there as well. Adam Gilmore, Donna, Renee, Aaron Hans. There was a lot of people that went to the event. You got a chance to see some of the things that they're doing over there, complementing to some of the things we do here now. Fall Story can utilize as well. And they had some neat things that the Ottawa Brewing Company next to it, they've closed off the street and they actually put in a pickleball court. It's actually pretty neat. I mean, I was talking to Adam about it, that my son goes into the park about every day playing pickleball, and I don't really get it because I've never even tried, but it seems like a lot of people are really getting into it, that it's a lot of fun. Have you done it? Have you ever seen it? You ever watched it?
I watched it.
I mean, I don't know if I could do it. I mean, then I'd say it relatively brings us up to today. I mean, if you want to talk more about their buildings downtown that they have done. They took one building, well, two buildings. Was it the DeMont building and the DeFord building? And the one they turned it into, the brewing company's downstairs. They have upstairs a design company. And then the other building is a law firm, and they have like a hotel. I didn't make it to everything, he did, but it looks really amazing with what they've done. So, I mean, always looking at things downtown that we can do to make things better.
Certainly.
It drives, business that comes to town. That was one of the things that they talked about, business coming to town and people wanting to be able to not have to travel to go to another place, give them a reason to stick around and go to your downtown. And we've done a pretty good job here. We can always look at other ways to do better. So that's it.
Good, very good. Oh, that's good. So, last Friday, had a meeting with Bryce and Adam Gilmore on some projects and stuff we're looking at. And then, as Brett alluded to, Monday was the big parade. So it's always fun with Tony with the parade because we never know where he's at. It's time for the parade. And Tony's
like
up
the Easter Bunny.
Right, he's kind of like all over. He's up on people's porches and kind of like, Tony, it's over here. So yeah, it's always a lot of fun with him. So had my granddaughter and great nieces and stuff involved in it. So luckily we bought extra candy because about half of it was gone before we started. So it
was a lot of fun.
But it was a great day. I tell you, beautiful out. And then went down. They had a really nice ceremony down at Frost Parkway there. Boy, that was very humbling to see the folks that were there. That was able to put a flower on a wreath and
you spoke.
Stuff.
Good job.
I spoke and kind of on behalf of the commissioners, and it was definitely a great event and stuff with it. Tuesday went down to Columbus. They had the hearing for Senate Bill 147, and it was in committee, so they voted out of committee. Now we'll go to the floor. That's the basically for the solid waste to bring that back to into our county and be able to have our own solid waste district and stuff with it. So that'll be on the floor next week, and kind of proceed from that point with it. And then that brings us up to today. Okay, so we have Barb, County Administrator report.
I don't have much to report. Again, I sat through a couple of interviews last week for the Job and Family Services Director. We're working to schedule second interviews for a couple of candidates, so we're still kind of working through that process a little bit. I that's pretty much my report. I just want to have a reminder, the Bascom Lions annual parade is on Sunday. So, just a reminder for you guys that, that the parade starts at 2 at the new Teal Financial Group building where the old St. Patrick's Church was. So,
And do we have a new employee for the maintenance
we
department?
do,
Okay.
we do. He started yesterday.
All right.
So, hopefully that will work out. He has some experience that we really need, so, we're hoping that that all works out well and we move on with that, so.
Does he have a name or is it?
His name is Austin Chapman.
Very good.
He has some HVAC experience, so that will help us. He is a veteran, so I appreciate
Good.
that, so.
Very good.
We also flipped the switch with IT, right?
Correct. IT is now through RCR Technology out of Findlay. They are taking all of our service calls, any support that we need, taking care of any kind of equipment that might come up. I know there were, in the past couple of days, there's been a couple of things. Memory in a computer needed to be replaced and a switch for some internet access needed to be replaced. So they've hit the ground running and doing a great job for us, so.
Good, good, good. Okay, old business. Okay, new business, supplemental appropriations.
Just a couple. I have the clerk of court's title administrative fee for their travel line for $2,000. This is so that they can attend educational meetings and conferences. I believe this is for the remainder of the year. And then I have the capital projects fund of the Agra buildings for $198,500. This is, we've been working with the auditor's office. There was a mistake. We used an incorrect account line and we're making a correction. So this money is not actually additional. It's just being put on the correct line. We'll make the corrections and then there'll be money on the incorrect line that will go back into that fund.
Okay,
I'll make the motion to supplemental appropriations.
okay, I'll second the motion.
Commissioner Bustacker?
Yes.
Commissioner Franker?
Yes.
Okay. Then on to resolutions. Resolution establishing the state vendor license fund on behalf of the Seneca County Auditor. This is something that is a new requirement that they have to collect additional funding when they have a vendor's license, when they process a vendor's license for the county.
So move.
Second.
Commissioner Bustacker?
Yes.
Commissioner Franker?
Yes.
Then I have a resolution accepting the coordinated public and human services transportation plan.
Motion.
I'll second. This is just what we went over.
Yep, with
Yep.
Jim.
Jim.
Mhm.
Jim. Yep.
Commissioner Bustacker?
Yes.
Commissioner Franker?
Yes.
Resolution for the appointment of special counsel for the Seneca General Health District retroactive to May 22nd, 2025.
So move.
Second.
Commissioner Bustacker?
Yes.
Commissioner Franker?
Yes.
And then I have a resolution authorizing payment of sales tax on HostGator invoice. This is for the engineer's office, and it's in the amount of $31.47.
So move.
Second.
What was that?
I'm not exactly sure who
Yeah, I don't understand
HostGator
how-
actually
That would do
is,
that.
Yeah.
but they charge sales tax and they would not remove it for us.
Okay.
Commissioner Bustacker?
Yes.
Commissioner Franker?
Yes.
That is all I have, gentlemen.
Okay. All right. Time for public comment. Anybody have anything? Okay. Nothing else? We will see everybody next Thursday, 10 a.m.
Correct.
Meeting adjourned.